How is everybody doing today? All right. Well, has anybody seen that movie, The Substance? Right? Uh, good, very good movie, I would have to say. And unfortunately, there's a lot about that movie in particular that has a lot to do with people and their quest for aesthetic greatness, right? We all remember the glory days of Little Kim, all right? The woman went to jail around the same time as Martha Stewart, right? Little Kim, for those of you who might not remember, she still is, but she was the first kind of nasty woman rapper. She was just, a chick from the 90s, right? And, she rose to prominence during the blow up of Bad Boy Biggie in the early to mid 90s, right? However, she did right. She did great even after the death of Biggie, right? She did phenomenal. She was in movies. She was actually a darling and she was cute. That was the whole thing. I mean, I know Tupac he said some kind of mean things 30 years ago about her, right? But Little Kim lately, Little Kim pretty much for the last decade. I would say probably since 2011, 2012. It's it's been different, right? She looks way way different. And some of that has to do with being abused when she was in a relationship, I believe, with Scott Storch. You know, it's not working out for her. And the reason why I think things like the substance, right? Just the basis of that movie. You have a good looking older woman. I mean, she's out here and look at what the movie is talking about. You have a very accomplished, single, damn near 60-year-old woman. And think about that now. Almost 60 years old. Who else is almost 60, right? You got Diamond, diamonds and pearls. Do, 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 do. All right, Lisa Ray. You have Vivica, who, now she's out here looking like Medea in real life. She is a mix between Medea and Jigsaw, and I don't know which is worse, right? And then you have people like Little Kim. And Little Kim was always something. She was right. This is the whole sad part about it. Little Kim was just right. She didn't have too much of this, didn't have too much that, but she was always right where she needed to be. Like, I've never seen this woman in real life, but I would, at least I always was under the same impression that her and Janet Jackson are like the same height, right? Because Janet Jackson is seriously like 5'2", maybe 5'3". That is a little woman. She is a damn near little person, right? She's fun size, gorgeous, right? And Janet has had work done. Obviously, we all know she has the Jackson nose, but it's turned out for her. I mean, she don't look crazy out here in these streets. And Little Kim early on, I remember that at the 1999 VMAs when Diana Ross was cupping the breast. I mean, it was amazing. She looked amazing. She was gorgeous, right? absolutely drop dead gorgeous. And now here we are, 2025, and it's not the same. And the sad thing is, and the sadder connection between Little Kim and the substance is that, the women are not allowing themselves to age gracefully. And some of these things that you have done to yourself early on, Cardi B, Nicki, damn near all the women in Atlanta, right? I mean, everybody likes to say, "Oh, black don't crack." We gonna see. We is gonna see. Some of these chicks ain't gonna be out here looking cute like they used to, right? You're you're gonna have they're like cars with fucked up parts, like shit that isn't there is no longevity to it, right? I mean, the front end starts sagging, the rear end, the shocks are gone. Like that, it's going to happen. And it's just a part of life, right? But the things that people have allowed themselves to do just for the moment, I mean, it's going to have very drastic consequences. That's why the substance is a letter to the diamonds all the way down to the Cardis. You have a 30-year gap of women that are going to experience something like that. And it's even more sad because all they really wanted was to find love. That's the worst part. We don't need all of that, right? You really don't. Like most men, they just don't. Like that is a fun time use, but who am I to say these things when you have the media, right? You have social media, you have all these things programming you. You have, simps, right? And then you have the collective group of other women who honestly don't even want to see you win. They're glad that you're miserable, right? I mean, look at Little Kim. She has all this money. Now doesn't she have a child or does she have two, right? Cardi B, that's a young woman, I think in her late 20s, early 30s. She got three kids. She's getting, piped down by an NFL player, you know what I mean? But that ain't gonna last, you know? And ultimately, it's going to lead to the same outcomes that you so desperately tried to avoid. Here's the thing, right? Everybody remembers Pimp My Ride, okay? And then we all knew, well, we didn't know at the time, but after the fact, we found out, man, all they did to them funky ass cars was put some paint on them. You know what I mean? Put some rims on them, and that was it. Them cars weren't fixed. Those cars were not fixed. It was an advertisement for the modifications that they could do should you come with a budget to do so. They weren't hooking you people up, right? And that's the finesse. This is the finesse that is going on in the community currently throughout the whole culture. It don't matter. I mean, yes, we do have, the black queens that's out here talking about cultural appropriation while wearing blonde wigs, which I find absolutely hilarious. Uh, but it all yields the same outcome. You're not going anywhere, right? And the main thing is when you go back just 25, 30 years, I mean, those women were gorgeous, right? Diamond was absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you got 1998, the Players Club. That's like 25, 26 years ago now, currently, right? I mean, that was all the ass that you needed. Cisco, the thong song video, that was all the ass that was required. Why do we have Super Shredder ass in 20, ever since what, 2020? Super Shredder asses that have never existed before, right? Well, maybe 2018. I don't know. Well, we got to back that up. We got to. This shit started because of the Kardashians, all right? They had ample ass to begin with, especially for What are Armenian? I mean, that's like a category of white. White girls got ass. I don't know who lied to people, but white women do have ass. First of all, I am not Dr. Umar. I look, if the woman has the cake, praise God, let it shake. All right, that's what it is, okay? But the main point is this: there are limits for a reason, right? And what good is all this upfront pimp my ride modification if in the end you're left as a shell of yourself, right? Little Kim was absolutely undeniably gorgeous. Much like how Demi Moore in The Substance, she was gorgeous. She was beautiful. You know what I mean? She was, and she still is, right? And the thing that hurt her was trying to obtain something that wasn't even real. Sometimes accepting where it is that you used to be and where you were, it's not a failure. It just means that your time has passed, right? And then you accept the new phase of where you are in your life. That's not a loser mentality. I mean, come on, man. Jordan couldn't play forever. And Jordan after 40 was still, I mean, he was probably still effective, but he wasn't 88 Jordan through the rest of his championships, not even before he retired the first time. It's reality. So I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think. That was just, I still love her, but I can't salute this version.